So today we will be studying cash flow from operating activity. Okay, cash flow cash flow statement is being classified in various business activities. Okay, that is operating activity, investing activity, and financing activity, which is discussed in the previous video. So we'll start with operating activity first. Okay, so let us study what is an operating activity. So operating activities are those activity which are principal revenue generating or producing activity. Okay, and whatever is not our revenue generation activity will be considered either investing or financing activity. Okay, so what are those activity? Let us see. Principal revenue for a trading company. For a trading company, for example, those who are related in buying and selling of goods, for example, a clothes shop, a hardware shop, a grocery shop, what will be the revenue producing activity? Purchase and sale of goods. Okay. For a finance company, for example, a bank, in non-banking or in non-banking financing sector, for example, Muthoot Finance. Okay, these will be dealing in securities and giving and taking loan. For an insurance company, receipts of premium and payment of claims or annuities will be their normal operating activity because this is what they deal in. Okay, this is their core activity. In Hindi, it says that इन लोग का मेन धंधा ही यही है, इन लोग का मेन काम ही यही है, ये लोग का core business है ये. Okay. For a computer manufacturing or any other manufacturing company, whatever they manufacture and they sell will be their operating activity. Okay. Having said that, it is also being clear here that operating activity for trading company will be cash sales inflow, cash sales received from debtors, receive commission and fees and royalty. These are the inflow for a trading company. Okay, and the outflow for trading company would be purchase, payment to creditors, operating expenses like salary, wages, administration, general expenses, stationery, all those. Okay, selling expenses and income tax paid will be the normal operating activity. For a finance company like bank, the operating would be cash received for interest and dividend, proceed from sale of security, and the outflow would be cash payment of interest or payment like withdrawal of cash for a bank. Okay. Then for an insurance company, again premium received would be the inflow, premium paid, claims paid will be the outflow. For a real estate business, rent received would be inflow, rent paid would be the outflow of cash. Okay. So having said that, let me start with how to record this operating activity in the cash flow statement. Okay, if you see, this is not a real cash flow statement format. I mean, like this is just a brief of the format. Okay, where everything is not given in detail, rather all the things that are given, that should be given, the sequence that should be given is maintained here. Okay, as you can see, we will start with cash flow statement for the year ended whatever. Okay, then there is three columns. First column is a particular, details and amount. Okay, uh, okay, and then we start with cash flow statement from operating. You see cash flow statement from operating, investing and financing. So these we will do later on, and it's very easy. It's not that tough. You can see it's very small also. So this we'll do later. Basic focus will be over here. Okay, so how do we start cash flow from operating activity? We start with net profit before tax and extraordinary items. Okay, then there is adjustment of non-cash and non-operating expenses. Uh, These are the non-cash and non-operating. After that, whatever you get after this adjustment, say this is profit, this is you have added and subtracted, and then you return it here, and then the total of this one is operating profit before working capital changes. In working capital changes, you will do the adjustment of these two. I'll explain everything in detail. I'm just showing you the sequence. Okay. Operating profit before working capital changes, you do adjustment of current asset and current liability. Again, you do the addition of this one and you get cash generated from operating activity. From this, you subtract the income tax paid, and then finally you get cash flow from operating item. Okay, you also subtract extraordinary items here if there is any extraordinary, but basically for your syllabus extraordinary accounting treatment of extraordinary items is not there. Okay, but if it is, we will discuss in when we see in the question. Okay, and that time it will be very easy for you to understand what is an extraordinary item. Okay, so basically do the adjustment of that also, adjustment with add or less, and finally you get the cash flow from operating activity. Okay, so once again, I have not finished. Okay, this is just I'm giving you what we are going to do. So so we start with net profit, then we adjust non-cash and non-operating. Okay, we start with net profit, then we adjust non-cash and non-operating. Okay, non-cash and non-operating is being adjusted, then whatever we get is known as operating, this one, operating profit before working capital changes. Then we do the adjustment of current asset and current liability. Okay, whatever we get after the adjustment is known as cash generated from operation. Okay, after that you subtract tax paid and extraordinary item which is not there. Okay, for the adjustment purpose, and then you write, then whatever you get is known as net cash from operating activity. So the sequence is understood. Okay, I repeat the sequence again. We start with net profit, then we adjust the non-cash and non-operating item. Okay, we adjust it. These are the non-cash and non-operating item which we will discuss in detail. Okay, whatever after adjustment you get, whatever amount you get, no, that is known as operating profit before working capital changes. Working capital means current asset and current liability. Basically, it's current asset minus current liability. Okay. So then before working capital, so now we will do the working capital changes, that is current asset and current liability. Okay, after the adjustment of working capital, whatever amount we get is known as cash generated from operation. So this is the amount that we will get, cash generated from operation. We reduce the income tax, we subtract the income tax and extraordinary items. Okay, adjustment of extraordinary items is, once it is done, we get cash flow from operating activity. I hope you have understood the sequence. Okay, the basic objective of this video is making you aware of the sequence. Now we will start with we'll start with net profit. We'll start with the net profit. So how to find net profit? Okay, the net profit will be given in the question sometimes, and sometimes you need to compute. Okay, sometimes the net profit will be given in the question, and sometimes this needs to be computed. Net profit needs to be computed separately. Okay, separately. So this net profit we will compute it separately. Okay, and then we will put it here. So how to do that? There is a format of writing the net profit. Just you can see over here. Yes. The format is the opening and closing balance of profit. Okay, this is given, where do you get this? This is given in the reserve and surplus column of balance sheet. Equity, liability and reserve and surplus. Then proposed dividend, this is okay. Proposed dividend, this is the adjustment has been changed. This is the old one. Okay, I'll tell you the adjustment. I'll make you write this adjustment regarding proposed dividend. Okay, interim dividend will be added. It will be given separately in the question. Transfer to reserve, again you see the reserve, it will be given in reserve and surplus. Okay, reserve and surplus. Then provision of expenses, provision of taxes, all those things, it will be given again separately. It will be given in the question. Provision for tax will be given in the question. Changes in the provision will be seen from the long-term provisions. Okay, and what do we add? We add tax credited, refund of tax. We add here, and then finally we get net profit. This net profit. Okay, um, I'll do this in detail in a separate video. Okay, I'll do this in a separate video.